Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen here in the UK. I hope you're all doing well. And I've got a fun little craft project for you today called iris folding, which looks like this. It looks really cool, but it's really simple to do. So let me show you how. Alright guys, for your iris folding you really won't need too many things, and hopefully you can find them at home. So that's a pencil, a glue stick that you might use at school, a pair of scissors, a piece of card. You can use any kind of card. I don't have any white card, so I've got this brown card that I've folded in half, so it's like a greetings card. And finally, a few colours of coloured paper. Most importantly will be our iris folding template. These are really easy to find online. If you just Google iris folding template, you'll find lots of different shapes. I've got this triangle here, and the numbers will spiral up and count up as you get closer to the center. If you need to know how many colors of paper you're going to use, look at that inside shape where the iris is. You can see I've got a triangle, so I've got 3 colors that I'm going to use with those 3 sides. So first of all, you're going to cut that out. I've just chosen a triangle today, which is quite simple, but there's actually loads of different options you can find, from cupcakes to just circles and all fun things you can try out. So we are going to take this template and use the shape to cut out a space in our card. I'm going to do it on the inside, so I'm going to draw around it with my pencil, just because then you don't have any problems if it gets messy. So I'm just going to draw around that with my pencil. And this bit is actually the trickiest bit. Where I'm scribbling through is going to be where you cut out. And that's probably the trickiest bit of this entire crafting project. I normally pinch it in half just to try and get that first cut in. But feel free to ask someone to help you out on this. Perfect. So now we've got our piece of card with our shape cut out. We're going to work from the inside so that you end up seeing that cool layered effect on the outside once we're all done. So if you lay your template underneath and your piece of card over the top, if you need to, feel free to tape that template to your work surface to stop it moving. Sometimes that can make it easier. So the first thing we're going to do is work on that number 1 before going to 2 and 3. All those things will spiral into the center with each of your colors. So number 1, we pick our first color to use, so I'm picking yellow, and then you're going to cut a rectangle out of this that's about the same length as that shape with that number 1 in it in your template. So I've made one that's probably a little bit longer, but that's fine. So you're going to fold that in half, and that nice folded edge will make it a bit neater once we're done with everything. I'm also going to use a glue stick, and I'm going to just quickly glue that folded piece of paper together, and that just means it's not flapping about at the edge, because you end up with quite a lot of bits of paper in the end. So where your number 1 is, you are going to glue around the outside of your card. Make sure you don't glue actually on your template itself, otherwise you won't be able to see through at the end. You're going to glue around that outside just as I'm doing now, and then that piece of folded paper will go folded edge against the line where that number 1 is. So you can see I'm bringing that in and across and up to that line where that number 1 space is. So now I've completely hidden where that number 1 was on the template, and as you can see, what I get is that nice shape poking through. So next you're going to do the same with your next colour, and this is number 2. I've picked blue. So the same thing, fold it in half, glue it shut, and then that is going to go up to the edge of the number 2. In my case, because I've got 3 colours, that you can kind of see 3 bits spiralling in, and there you can see that blue kind of goes underneath that very first layer of yellow. So the third colour will be the green, and that goes on that third edge up to the edge of the 3, and then you keep on going. So that's layer 4, number 5, number 6, and you'll notice that this inside looks a bit messy, which is totally fine. It gets a bit gluey as well. So mine only has 15 layers, but you'll find some templates that actually have up to 50, if not more sometimes. And what's left, when you pull away your template, on the front will be a really cool layered iris folding. Now the only thing now left to do is to cut off these odd bits that are sticking out. So that's quite simple. You just kind of cut any bits that might be a bit messy and overlapping the edge. And then we need something for the iris in the middle to cover that space. Some people like to use nice foiled card or fun patterns. I'm just going to use a piece of white paper in the middle to cover that up, as you can see. And that is us pretty much done. Now, where I have this folded in half, I want to cover up that messy inside space, so I can just glue it all and close it. Or if you want, you can cut out a piece of paper in a fun colour that's the same shape as that inside space and just glue it all over the top. But I am just going to glue this shut to keep it nice and clean. And there you have some fun iris folding.